shall prevail.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I am Sir Joseph and this is Warhammer 40k Rouge Trader. We are on what looks like our bridge with blood and gore everywhere. We were in a Drukhari cell and they shoved something in our on our face, which went up our nose and into our brain. So this is probably their doing. But let's, Lord Captain, we've received an astropathic message from Dargonis. Achilles Scalander reports a Xenos raid against a merchant ship in Gartrafal's Calamity. A new message from Master Scalander, Lord Captain. Achilles' aides have reported that the Xenos leader will be heading an attack on the Paradise world Grantis.
Follow my lead.
We have identified the breed of Xenos that poses a threat, the Eldari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. I focused all my attention on investigating the attacks across your protectorate. I suspected that there was something bigger behind the Xenos attacks, but how is it that you were the only soul who survived the trap on Ricard Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors that the heretic Kunrad Voitvir is spreading about you? I am going to ignore any minor liberties that you, esteemed Rouge Trader, may have afforded yourself. Can we go down here? No. Do my eyes deceive me? Explain yourself, Elantok. What? Why is there a shard of Kudrach in your chamber?
Are accused of consorting with Xenos, betraying the Imperium, and neglecting the interests of humankind.
Pulsating strands stretch from under Cassia's headpiece, one wrapping around her neck while the other drains her lifeblood through weeping eye sockets and mouth. Ick. Every exposed area of Argenta's skin is molted with an intricate pattern of scarlet blisters, crimson indentations, and charred tissue. A passing ray of light reflects off countless tiny blades that looked like they sprouted from Adira's body. All the Cold Trader's bones were broken, her augmented arm was ripped from its socket, and the bones of every finger on the remaining hands are twisted and sticking out at strange angles. You guys have been brutalized. Pascal's augmentates were separated, not extracted from his body. The places where they connected to the organic tissue teem with predatory millipedes, feasting on the coagulated blood and accumulated pus. Abelard's limbs were amputated and sewn back onto his body with remarkable skill and precision using human tendons.
The tribunal is waiting for your explanations. Come closer.
Excuse me. And here comes our principal witness, the Rogue Trader himself. Heinrich gives you a cold look. If the presented evidence was not enough to convince you, his testimony will conclude this confusing case, full of oath-breaking, lies, and heresy. You dragged this boy into a trial and now expect someone will lend an ear to a lowly heretic's testimony? I thought better of you, interrogator von Kalex. I was so very wrong. Lady Theodora's voice sounds even harsher and angrier than you remember. The Lord Inquisitor makes a vaguely dismissive gesture. Enough, let him speak. The sooner this business is concluded, the better. Then let us continue. Shielded by the powers of the warrant of trade granted by the Imperium, Theodora von Valentius more than once allowed herself to openly collaborate with Xenos. You have never seen such a contemptuous grimace on the interrogator's face. She plunged her entire protectorate into apostasy and heresy, including the current Rogue Trader, and went out of her way to prevent the Inquisition and me personally from maintaining order inside the Expanse. Does the Rogue Trader admit to fraternizing with the Xenos? You served the Xenos, you rejected his light, you reveled in his heretical desires and craved base profit, serving them as a puppet and rejecting the God Emperor's blessed light for sake of his heretical desires and base profit. The Xenos is gone. Why is the Lord Inquisitor here? And Theodora's reanimated corpse, too. Didn't she die? Everything is wrong here. Died, you say? But who are you talking to if I did? Get one simple truth into your empty head. Your role in these events is negligible. You shall think me the Emperor on the Golden Throne if I so choose, and think me dead if it strikes my fancy. But this is not what matters right now. Just looking in your direction makes me sick. Why must I speak to this filth? The last words, obviously meant for the court, not you. Heinrich bends over you with a crooked smile. Rogue Trader, are you all right? Or was your heretical association with Xenos so disruptive that you lost your mind? The mocking words do little to hide his irritation. The interrogator is obviously displeased with the turn the conversation is taking. That looked kind of cool. The Inquisitor leans forward slightly at the sight of your anguish. For a brief moment, the boredom in his eyes is gone. It was amusing, but the joke has outstayed its welcome. Theodora shoots the Inquisitor a nasty look. It is painfully obvious this heretic is dancing to your tune. His word against mine. You had lost before you even unsheathed your blade, Heinrichs. You need not worry, dear Lord Captain. It was not my intention to bring up unsupported claims. Heinrich produces a data slate and skillfully manipulates the device until he locates the necessary information. The Rogue Trader uncovered the crimes of the Aldari on the most important agri-world of the Von Valexi's Protectorate, which feeds many Imperium colonies in the Expanse. But instead of purging the planet of the Xenos menace, he allowed the Inhumans to take refuge in the shadow of his power. They are corrupting Yanusian society even as we speak. And who knows, perhaps another rebellion will not be long in coming. The Rouge Trader has often been accompanied by a Xenos companion. And though the warrant of trade does allow one to grant sanctions to individual specimens, what is this if not a confirmation of the Von Valencius family's loyalty to the enemies of humanity? The Rouge Trader's ties to the Drukhari, a different subspecies of Aldari, is just as obvious. Who else could help him divine the carefully prepared plans of the Drukhari, if not another Drukhari? Ignatius von Valencius always ended up in the location of the next Drukhari raid, knowing for certain where they were going to strike. Wait! The Inquisitor himself gave me his blessings to use the Xenos as I saw fit. Why then am I standing trial? The words fly from your lips, but the meanings belong to someone else. And you are aware of this. Except there's nothing you can do about it. Your voice is dreadfully hoarse from all the screaming and torture. I confess to collaborating with Xenos. Corruption is a double-edged sword. Sometimes you use your partner and sometimes your partner uses you, which is what happened to the Rouge Trader. Lady Theodora used him to undermine the standing of the Imperium in the Expanse. The tribunal remained silent, although those present cast anxious glances at your predecessor. At this point, the tribunal probably wants to know what the true intentions of the Von Valencius dynasty are. The Rouge Trader claims he has been waging war against the Drukhari this entire time. Except, was there really a war? Or was it another carefully staged performance? Heinrichs is looking at you closely, almost without blinking. Allow me to explain what actually happened. Ignatius von Valencius personally invited the Drukhari to his world, and then used their strength and resources to sow chaos in the Expanse to gain leverage over his rivals. It is very convenient to play the victim while working with those who rob your neighbors blind and terrify the worlds that pay you tribute. How much did you profit from this, Rouge Trader? Did you think I would not uncover your pathetic conspiracy? 65 on the willpower. Enough of this circus, Heinrichs. I did not set up any tax. Succeeded! Rouge Trader, Heinrich addresses you through clenched teeth. You are destroying your only chance to make yourself useful to the Inquisition and to me personally. Do not tempt fate and do not resist the examination. Are you really saying your war with the Drukhari was not a hoax? Then, how did you and your foolish subjects know the coordinates of the enemy ships every time? How did you know their targets? Do you think your expert on all things Xenos was shrewd enough to divine the cleverly devised plans of the Cabal's finest? No. Only another Drukhari could do that, and even then, only a few. This means you were in collusion with them. I am reading terribly all of a sudden. I apologize. Bull-headed stubbornness does not benefit a man of your pedigree, Rogue Trader. But since you have decided to deny everything, I will summon another witness. I am sure everyone will find it interesting to explore this sordid story from another angle. I don't see Yurliet, but it says she's here. Yurliet silently takes a graceful step forward. If the court so desires, my speech will run like a river and wash away your doubts. I found a shard of my home in the Rogue Trader's chambers. An entire craft world vanished among the stars, the only clue to its fate resting in the hands of this Monkey. That was when I began to suspect that he had something to do with the misfortune that had befallen Krudrak. Do not be deceived by his breed. There is a cunning predator lurking behind the fluttering and fragile butterfly wings. The Monkey before you is a bizarre amalgamation of qualities not usually inherent in his feeble species. He has mastered the mysteries of many of this world's cultures, the secrets of the universe and ancient artifacts, the fine art of war, the intricacies of deceit. All are embodied in a single Monkey, however hard it may be to believe. However, the thread that bound our paths broke the moment I realized the Monkey's involvement in the disappearance of my home. To flee the Rogue Trader, I tracked down and eliminated his chief tracker, who has pursued our kin in this part of the galaxy for many years, and thus earned clemency before this court. So, Achilles did not simply vanish. You helped him disappear. Heinrich nods curtly. I say he had only himself to blame. An agent who cannot recognize an impending threat is useless. Heinrich nods with satisfaction, noticing your reaction, or rather, the lack of it. The court has been presented with enough evidence, and I hope no one is harboring any doubts as to the guilt of the von Valentius dynasty. But let us allow the Rogue Trader to say his final words. We are all curious to know what you have gleaned from this inquiry. I am still struggling to make sense of what's going on here. You do not need to understand, Monkey. You have done what was required of you. Now muster your strength. We still have a fun... Enough! See, back to reality. After the spell is lifted, staggering pain pierces your body. Darkness clouds your vision and nausea creeps up your throat. But the words you manage to forget soon remind you that you are still alive. The wounds, not words. The weakness of your subjects is an insult to the Council of Archons and the Supreme Overlord of Kamarach himself, Uremerisi. The commanding inhuman voice tears you from the vice of agony, and you see an unknown Drukhari in the center of the chamber whose presence alone causes your insides to clench. Instead of fighting and ripping what they are owed from destiny's hand by force, you dare to crawl into the dark palace, begging for favors. 32% chance. Probably not going to make it. Succeeded! The Xenos is wearing armor encrusted with jewels and stands calmly next to the speaker. Such behavior is typical of the Xenos occupying the higher tiers of Drukhari hierarchy, which means you are facing one of the Archons. Look at the Drukhari on the throne. One half of his face is hidden behind a golden mask with an intimidating visage. The other half is showing a malicious, sharp-toothed leer. The Xenos' elaborate armor is decorated with skulls and patches of human skin impaled on countless blades and hooks. He carries himself with authority and ease, as though he is the ruler who holds the threads of fate of all of those present tightly in his grip. Look at Mara's eye. The smug grin has fled Marazahai's face. He clutches the hilt of his blade and casts a vicious look at the female Drukhari in sumptuous armor. Look at Yurliet. Yurliet absorbs every word, occasionally wincing in pain and covering her weeping wounds. Her posture and gesture are full of tension, like prey cornered by a pack of predators. Yurliet sinks under the hungry stares of those around her. Listen to the conversation. With the greatest respect, mighty Nazrakahai, Archon of the Cabal of the Black Heart, first among the chosen, voice of the Overlord of the Dark City, bringer of demise, conqueror of 100 worlds. Nazrakahai dismisses Marazahai like a bothersome fly. The Council of Archons has heard enough platitudes, Dracon Marazahai, and no longer wishes to sly intrigues, ruthless chills to jagged at ice, and more things that guy said. Oh, that looks like a Harlequin. Of vitriol verbose, the cut and thrust, keep time with fate's own mechanism's grave, but whose deft footwork leads to naught but dust, while from its brutal finish none can save. This play the puppet master granted me, through murky stalls, a path of obligingly, I think that's what that is. Reading is hard sometimes. The puppet master has Vect himself invited you to this chamber. The Archon chokes on his own words, but quickly regains his composure. No matter, you may be our guest, Arabenian, but you are merely a spectator in this performance, and spectators do not belong on the stage, as you undoubtedly know. Do not interfere. The stranger presses a delicate finger to the lips of his sorrowful mask and says with a twinkle in his eye, "A shadow in the shadows will I be." 92. The bright motley and the hollow the bright motley, the hollow suit, the mask hiding its owner's face, and the graceful subtle movements. Before you stands a Harlequin, another representative of the multifaceted Eldari race. The Xenos catches your eye and nods. For a moment, the play of shadows on the mask appears to twist its grimace into a mischievous grin. Recall what I know about Vect. You have heard many gruesome tales about the atrocities of the Drukhari, but the cruelest and vilest always involved Asdrubal Vect, the Archon of the Cabal of the Black Heart, the supreme overlord of Kamarok, and the most dangerous of all his dark kind. Listen to the conversation. The Archon addresses the female Drukhari standing beside him, his eyes alight with mockery, not directed at her, however, for he is still looking at Marazahai. How does the Archon intend to pay for her cabal's blatant disrespect? I am waiting for your reply, Euramurius, and my patience is growing thinner with each breath you take. Marazahai's eyes widen, filled with astonishment and disbelief. He seems to have been certain of the outcome and did not expect what he is hearing now. His lips twist in an enraged snarl, hatred directed at the Xenos on the throne, and yet it finds no outlet under the gazes of the dozens of Drukhari in the chamber. I humbly bow before the Council of Archons and apologize for this outburst on behalf of the Cabal. Allow me to prove my respects to you with a humble gift. Euramurius, for whatever that person's name is, points at you with a clawed finger and flashes a satisfied gift. The Drakon of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest himself and his amusing monkey plaything with their entourage of hapless freaks will enter your arenas and fight the best warriors for the crowd's amusement. A muffled chuckle can be heard from underneath Nazrakahai's mask. Kamarak accepts your gifts, that gal's name. But what should I do? For Marazahai is the first among your blades. Should I cast him out of the palace and condemn to disgrace? Or should I be merciful and allow him to leave the chamber on his own? The Archon's chilling gaze falls upon you. I think I know who will make the difficult decision. A creature whose mewling the Council of Archons was meant to heed. Is this not right, Marazahai? You will receive what you have been longing for. It will be the Monkey who decides your fate. Marazahai's face contorts in despair. His gaze shifts from the Archon to you, then to that gal, and back. But he does not dare to utter an objection. Spit in disgust. The lesser races are disgustingly primitive. The Archon of the Cabal of the Black Heart addresses Marazahai, ignoring your words. The Monkey cannot even decide the fate of its enemy, and you were hoping that someone here would lend an ear to its words. Amusing. The arenas of Kamarak will devour you and your playthings. With a hiss of rage, Marazahai draws his blades, preparing to fight back. The Archon nods in satisfaction and makes an unfamiliar gesture. The guards draw closer to you. Let us return to you, that gal. The Harlequin's laughter interrupts the Archon and echoes under the vaults of the chamber in a resounding baritone. And all the masks upon their marks now stand. The slave of vanity the spire ascends. The thief and traitor cast downward by her hand. Unbeknownst to all, their fate depends upon the lead unseen, a player green. The Harlequin leans forward and eyes you with genuine interest. Is this how you treat the hospitality of Kamarak, Arabinian? The Archon angrily balls his fist, the shadow of his wrath hanging over the Aldari interloper like a thundercloud. I thought your words were worth more, but insult me by interrupting the trial again, or you insult me by interrupting the trial again. The Xeno sweeps into a theatrical bow without taking his eyes off Nazaraki's face. You, Archon, speak of just rebuke in truth. Fate's melodies in snarl fanatic have entrapped me here, and when I heard them play, I could not keep my lips from grinning wide. Here comes the hour for shadows to retreat, to where the curtain waits to rise the laugh. With no beginning now sends forth the call. Ow! That couldn't have felt good. The world is an impenetrable haze of warm pain. You lie motionless. No, you rest. In the murky gloom, slowly dissolving into nothingness. Sometimes your response is troubled by unpleasant and persistent tremors coming from the place where your legs used to be. You do your best to ignore them. Away, you vulture! This is not your prey. A vaguely familiar voice reaches you through the curtain of darkness, but your disobedient thoughts refuse to reveal where and when you have heard it before. Was it just recently, or 100 lifetimes ago? The trembling coming from your legs is replaced with a violent jerking motion, and then it finally stops. From this phantasmagoria retreat, and deftly seize my merchant vagabond, the puppet master strings left dangling. Arise, again rise up to take your place and dance. A spark ignites in the darkness, and its light ruthlessly cuts through the gloom that envelops you. An ugly image of the reality around you assaults your retina. You can feel your body again and realize it is filled with pain. Your shoulder is sore from an injection. Until I get a cup of recap, my vital systems is yet to be determined. Help! Quiet laughter reaches your ears. Your legs require direction, merchant mine. Therefore, address your pleas to them, not me. Their thirst for dancing may yet spur them on. Well, crowds will work. You immediately regret this decision. Every inch of your body is suffering. There is a dull, debilitating pain in your head caused by chemicals of some kind. Your body is covered in deep cuts, made either for fun or with some sinister intent. All of your organs appear to be intact, but the same cannot be said for your blood. You have lost a great deal. Finally, a strange gnawing spasm occasionally flares at the base of your skull. It is not severe, but for some reason, it is what concerns you most of all. All your equipment is gone, as are your shoes. You do not even have a knife at your hand to fend enemies off or to open your veins. Look around. You are surrounded by the dead, numerous corpses, mutilated bodies, and pieces thereof. Humans, Drukharis, and other Xenos unfamiliar to you lie motionless in this gruesome mortuary. Look at your rescuer. Your eyes refuse to focus on the blurry figure of the person who came to your aid. He appears to be tall, and your mind emphatically refuses to continue, for every moment of concentration causes you suffering. I've seen you somewhere before. Who are you? A dream obscure of death, deliverance, illuminating will, and agony. Where am I? Among the shadows and the wings you lie, where taut are pulled the puppet master's strings. The stranger intricately links his fingers to mimic the tools of a puppet master. My companions, where are they? Not here. The roles have been decided now. But if you play your part, perhaps the plot will draw you back together, or to doom. The figure's cruel laughter follows. This overture in verse, the final lines. The merchant's time to tread the boards has come. Embark you now upon your pilgrimage, and take my parting gift, a humble prop. The stranger deposits something in your hand and disappears into the twilight. Gift from beyond the grave. A pistol. An unremarkable and weak pistol. The engraving covers its surface is far more valuable than its meager stopping power it might possess. Well, temporize. Your body has suffered too much to obey your mind, or rather, that is how it would have been for someone else, perhaps, but not for you. You have lived through worse. Anguish and torture could never break you now. You will rise to your feet and press on. All that is left to understand is why you should. Remember all the people whose lives depend on you. Hundreds of faces flash before your mind's eye, friends, subjects, and companions. The universe is cruel and full of darkness, and your will and determination are the only barrier between your loved ones now and its crushing apathy and brutality. You have no right to die, not here and not now. Resoluteness floods your veins like incandescent plasma, and you make another attempt to get up. Gain the power of honor, permanent. Plus 10 toughness, that's nice. You get up, yes, your body aches and rebels against you, but your tempered mind is stronger than mortal flesh. You draw yourself up straight and take in your surroundings. The corpses smile at you with warmth and whisper quietly, "It is over for you. Join us." There is a ton of debuffs on me, or stuff on me. I'm assuming they're debuffs. Let's scroll down here. All right. 100 wounds. You are on the verge of death. Fresh injury. Deformed bones. Your bones have deformed, curved, and misaligned, making your movements clumsy and your body feel alien. Darkened eyes. You can feel something crawling around inside your eye. You have lost most of the vision in it. Hamstrung. Your tendons have been carefully cut with a thin and sharp blade in order to cripple you without completely robbing you of the ability to move. All right. That sounds terrible. Alright, let's look at all those things that popped up. So we're on Chapter 3, Companion's Quest, the Incident. Wait, new ruler, that's doing the thing. Errands, not the biggest problem. After coming to your senses on a corpse dump, the Lord Captain discovered that his boots were missing. Finding them is a matter of honor. Reunion. The captain's squad has been scattered throughout the city. By collecting rumors and information on his missing companions, the Lord Captain will be able to find them and learn about their fate. Okay. 1 foot in the grave. Escape the corpse dump. Troubling development. Find a way to escape Kumarach. Alright. Well, there's people over here, and there's a thing about only a 36 awareness. That sucks. Alright, we're going to come do this, and then we'll head this way. The corpse fell down here from above. You hear them whispering about the beauty of their long descent and the cruelty of the impact that broke their cold bodies. Ugly beggar. It is nigh impossible to identify this horrendous spawn dressed in rags as a human being, or rather, a genetic anathemia descended from human beings. The mutant's hideous appearance is complemented by brutal scars and a partially flayed face. You seem to have made an equally poor impression on the wretched beggar. He sizes you up and rasps, "You look like Grok's Pat. What are you still breathing with wounds like that?" Perception failed. The beggar's features are appalling to a point of being too offensive to look upon. I am in need of help. The mutant arches his eyebrow in bemusement. Really? Hey, Gripping Tail, and why should I give a crap? I'm begging you. I need shelter and the assistance of a healer. The beggar looks at you skeptically, thinking for a moment, and then nods. Fine. Who else should help a helpless soul in this accursed place, if not another hapless soul, right? Come, I'll show you somewhere safe. He beckons you to follow him. Then something in his wrist clicks, and a long blade coated with something foul thrusts out of it. A moment later, the blade sinks into your flesh. Well, that's not good. You do not feel any pain. Not yet, at least. You merely watch in surprise as a spray of crimson fans through the air. You do not know when your hand seized the beggar's throat. Your fingers clench around it of their own accord. The mutant's eyes go wide and a rattle escapes its reeking mouth. It dies before he can wound you again. You force yourself to release your grip on his crushed larynx. The pain finally reaches you through the veil of adrenaline, but the sensation is hardly shocking. What is another wound to you when your body is already suffering from 100 just like it? Inventory. That's our gun, huh? We're going to want that equipped. Got a knife, some boots, a stim, and a better gun. Lost contact with the flagship, so we don't have access to anything there. Okay. So this is a much better pistol, so we're going to go ahead and take that. We're going to go ahead and put those boots on. Wield the knife.
Victory awaits.
Hands off, this corpse is mine. Alright, so we have... Oh, there's a awareness over here as well. Oh, no, we don't want to run up there. .36, our awareness sucks.
I rise to the occasion.
Ah! We rose to the occasion. We got another stim. Don't hurt me, I've got nothing for you to take. Alright, back this way.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
31% chance of success.
Done.
We are awesome at 30%.
This cannot be.
Got full of myself and we failed it. Whatever the dead have, I take it. Blasted Voidveer, he killed your people, tore down your banner, and replaced it with this heretical flag. Well, I guess we're going up.
Tolerate weakness.
Well, that looks kind of interesting. Oh, we escaped the corpse pit. Don't hurt me, I've got nothing for you to take.
We need to investigate. What in the world?
Oh, that's that corpse pit. Oh, what's this? Search.
That didn't go as I'd hoped.
Well, I was rocking the 30% for a bit. Now the 30% are just horrific. The wide maw of the chute stretches into a mellow grin, as if promising to disgorge a few more bodies to keep you company.
A new challenge for me.
Whatever's dead, I take it. If you surrender to the cough and lie down, it will be easier to breathe and your lungs will stop burning. Don't hurt me, I've got nothing for you to take.
Follow my lead.
There are so many dead people here. How? It must be Voidfur. Damn him for what he's done to your crew. A pleasant voice, a strange device, invites you to put your hand in the depths and press the activation button. I'm gonna say no. An enormous eye stares at you through a glowing portal. Or rather, the portal is
It's about time.
the eye of something enormous, and its maw patiently waiting for you to step inside. Well, we will not step inside a patiently waiting maw. Whatever the dead have, I take it, alright? Looks like we've hit a dead end over here. We talked to this beggar already? Evidently. If you surrender, okay, that's the same thing. Get back into our 30s here. No.
This cannot be. I'll lay claim to the stars.
You fool, do you have a death wish? That's what that's why... Yeah, alright. I told you not to let them see you. The hunters, damn butchers. You gotta creep along and stick to the shadows. Go around in the chasms. Yeah, okay. 80% athletics here. Let's...
Excellence matters.
Okay. Oh, here's another one there. It's coming this way. Hopefully this fire thing will keep me hidden in the shadows. Or maybe just far enough away that they don't care about me.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Okay. There's a chance to go around. Shriekers. Well, I mean, worst case, we get stabbed to death, right? Let's go ahead and try to talk to these guys. Alright, if you surrender, yep. Hey, are any of these going to say anything other than just stuff? Barking of weapons discharges. Theodore's disproving grumble. Do you consider that to be the fate of a rogue trader? Mouse search credit. Yep. Yeah, they're just... Your brave enforcers spend their... look here. Your brave enforcers spend their every waking moment training. After all, Voitvir could return at any moment and try to take over your ship again. Why do we think we're on our ship? It's obviously not our ship. Oh, there was, to the pit. There's loot over here, though. Let's see if we can get this loot. Probably need to avoid being seen by these guys. Okay, we obviously didn't get too close, which I was kind of afraid that might have been too close. Where'd that other one go? Here he comes. I guess that would have been enough time to run up. So I want to see what this is, and there was some over here, that beggar. Okay. Kind of hoping he would go this way and I could come and grab that.
A new challenge for me.
Alright, let's look at this, what we found. Can't use the Drukhari armor. Plus 5 agility, plus 28 dodge against attacks of opportunity. Yeah, let's put those on. The agility would be better, and then some grenades. Okay, now when he goes over there, we'll come back to our little centerpiece.
Victory awaits.
We can't climb back across that, okay? Ooh, I almost ran up there and saw that guy coming at the last second. A knife. All of that for a knife. I'll check up here. I don't know if there's any loot up there or not. There's like a little panel thing. That might be worth something.
None shall stand in my way.
Oh, no, come back. That might not be a safe place to go. Alright, let's go to this pit place. Oh, we can't even do the climb across the chains again, okay. Alright, I don't like the idea of going to the pit, but it seems like our only option.
Follow my lead.
Yep. Lay down and surrender. Alright, just general idle chat. Those ones we can talk to. These guys we can talk to. We talk to them. Oh, we are going to talk to them. The den you have found yourself in is filled with heady smoke, and the walls are lined with living shadows. The center of attention is a snake-like Xenos. He is engaged in conversation with a pale, harried-looking Drukhari and pays you no mind, much like everyone else in here. Xenos failed. The particular breed of abominable Xenos is unfamiliar to you, but its appearance alone speaks of a vicious nature and inboard wickedness. Medicaid 72. Everyone gathered around here is armed. They all bear scars and some even have fresh wounds. You notice a few humans among the Xenos. They clamor in a mishmash of tongues, and their laughter rings with lunacy and bloodlust. The air is thick with an all-pervading sense of doom. Your trained eye does not fail to notice that virtually everyone in this place is under the influence of some substance or another, and powerful ones at that. It seems you have wound up in a narcotics den. Observe the scaled Xenos. The leader of this gang is powerfully built. His scaled hide is reinforced with engraved metal in several spots. His long tail coils around and around as his snake-like head sways gently from side to side. The Xenos is enjoying a state of blissful relaxation. His companion, a gaunt Drukhari, is looking at him obsequiously. Her entire body is adorned with hundreds of embedded steel beads and thousands of red injector marks. May we speak? The snake-like Xenos either fails to notice your presence or is simply ignoring you. Iridescent eyelid membranes slide over his eyes, momentarily shuttering them. No doubt a telling look among his kind. Without deigning to look at you, the cadaverous Drukhari mutters, "Malice wants you to disappear, pathetic whelp." Well, let's go ahead and just step away so we don't get stuck in a big long conversation, and hopefully we can talk to him again. Alright, well thank you guys for watching, I do appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. I have been Sir Joseph, you guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you later.